In this chapter, we're going to be talking about how we can modify the input and output that Unix uses. And before we do that, we first need to understand the concept of standard input and standard output. And you may already be able to guess what these standard input and output are if you think about it. The input is the keyboard. That's its main way of getting input into Unix, is the things that you type on the keyboard. And the way of getting information out, the standard output, is typically the text terminal, the window, the screen that you're seeing inside terminal. So that's where it outputs its results to. So when we type a command, we type in the command, we hit return, that's the input, it does its process, and at the end of it, it outputs the results to the screen so that we can see it. What we're going to be doing is changing each of those. I also want to mention the common abbreviations for standard input are just stdin, and for output it's stdout. So if you see that, that's what it's referring to, is standard in and standard out. And there are actually sort of special files on Unix that correspond to these, and that's inside that dev folder. Dev is where information about different devices is stored. So inside dev, there's an stdin and stdout, which are files that are really sort of references to these two things, to the keyboard and to the terminal. What we want to do is figure out how we can work with commands so that we can change the input or the output. So let's start by looking in the next movie at how we can direct the output not to the screen, but instead to go into a file.